Old golden tits.
Yeah. That's my pirate name that I've chosen for myself.
Are they really real, or was this just all fiction?
Well,
Okay,
some
so
pirates
hold on.
aren't real, so
Yeah,
you
so
have
what-
that going for
Where are you putting like in what bucket are pirates in with?
Julius Caesar was once kidnapped by pirates.
Parrots? What about parrots?
Ma'am, that's your placenta. It's just
Oh
dry.
God!
So, why are his ears on fire?
They
well,
definitely indulged frosh initiation, like you have to drink out of his head.
She lovingly yelled to him, "If you had fought like a man, you wouldn't be hanged like a dog."
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Coast Files, your podcast for ocean mysteries and true crime. I'm Chantel.
I'm Lindsay.
I like booty. Yes, and I'm Megan.
It's yar.
What did you call yourself on this one? Old
My name.
golden tits.
Yeah. That's my pirate name that I've chosen for myself.
I missed out.
We should have done a little pirate quiz beforehand to see what
my
our
God, yeah.
names would have been. That was
You know what?
I
We
mean,
should just
it's
wrap
not
this
too
episode up
late.
now. And yeah,
yeah.
you know
Pirate
what?
name generator.
Chantel, you're gonna
You
go
go.
first, and then just see what you can Google, and I'll Google stuff right now. So I'm just not
Okay.
gonna listen. So
There you go. It's just
go.
go right ahead. I love when no one's listening to what I'm saying. It's my favorite part.
You can see on my search history that I had Googled pirate lingo. I wonder why I did that.
I don't know. What's this episode about? Is
Oh.
this? So we're doing another group episode because we needed a break from research, and this is just easier for us. It's the summertime. We need a break.
Although this is almost as long as a
Although
case
I
that
know,
would
I
have
feel like
written.
I end up spending like almost as much time.
Sometimes there were certain ones that I've done where I'm like, oh my God, this took me so much to find this little bit of information. But not this
but
time.
not
This time
not
was
having to
quick
talk
for
for
me.
a full hour. That's nice. Like this will be a nice break.
Mhm.
We all kind of get to
Yes.
popcorn, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's
But
a
I'm
fun
going to start us
topic,
off.
sort of.
Yes, it is.
I'm
That
pumped.
is. Well,
Yeah.
I've had fun.
Mine is fun,
Um,
so
Yeah.
Mine's really fun, and the photos, all 14 of them.
I'm going to hate Megan because somehow she fit 14 photos into a 15-minute segment, but that's okay.
With creative editing, I'm going to get them down to 8, 7 or 8.
Okay. Perfect. But I'm going to start us off with theme.
Here we go. Great start.
Why did I want to start a podcast with you guys again when I can't talk?
You can hardly speak English,
I know.
but that's
It
what
was
we
our
do.
fault because
that's
we
bad.
made you in charge of introducing
Stama,
things.
stama.
Sounds like Spanish to me. Okay, so I have always had a hard time with pirates. Like, I know they're real, but like it's one of those things that I've always just been like, are they really real, or was this just all fiction?
Well,
Okay,
some
so wait,
pirates
hold on.
aren't real, so
Yeah,
you
so
have
what-
that going for
Where
your
are
theory.
you putting like in what bucket are pirates in with? Like what else are you comparing real not real like fairies?
Yeah.
Like where
Yeah,
are you?
like I was like, are we like dragons
but
and
you knew
pirates?
they were real. You,
But like yes, but like I
Okay.
didn't know how much. I don't know. Okay, guys,
Doesn't sound
I'm
like you thought they were
really-
real.
I'm really smart in some things.
Wait,
and
is
really
this the
dumb in
cult's
others.
fault? Because if you were not in a
yeah,
cult,
you were
would have known a
exposed to
lot.
pirates. That makes sense. We can blame
Yeah,
it all on the religion.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
also think, like you're watching Captain Hook growing up, and like that's a fictional pirate, and like
Yeah.
Pirates of the is it Caribbean or Caribbean?
Okay, so if you're
Okay.
gonna fly there, you're
Yeah.
going to
Mm.
the Caribbean.
Yeah.
If you're
Okay.
watching the movie, it's Caribbean. I don't know
Caribbean.
why,
Okay.
but that is how it is.
I actually asked Eric's mom before because she's from the Caribbean.
I was like, what do you
Mhm.
say?
And I was like, which one? And I was like, what's the right way? And she's like, either works. I'm like, oh.
No,
Oh.
no.
What?
I know that she's from there, but that's wrong. No.
Well, I'm like,
You
what
have
would
to
you
pick a side.
say? I know. I had to catch her saying it or something.
She was like,
but-
Yeah.
Yeah. So-
anyways,
They just say the
So I
islands
thought I would-
normally. So they get out of
yeah,
saying it.
that's fair. They do.
Mhm.
It's just so cool. Like, you don't even have to ask. Like, if you have to ask, you can't go there. Because, like, it's just the islands. Ugh.
Yeah.
So exclusive. Girls trip.
Anyways, I wanted to do a little quick and dirty history of pirates so that I could be like, okay,
Educate yourself.
yes, exactly.
Are pirates real? Google.
That's all I
Are-
googled.
Are pirates?
Are pirates? Question mark. So a pirate, like I knew that some pirates were real because obviously I know there's still modern day pirates. I just
Okay,
wanna say
Chantal.
this.
Trying to
I
backpedal
can
now.
tell you are so insecure about your belief that pirates weren't real until like yesterday. It's so good. Like, okay, like I knew that maybe they could have been
Yeah.
real, but I
I just didn't know how much about pirates was real.
No,
Anyway,
okay.
you didn't think they were. That's the answer.
But
You
you-
did not think they were real.
but I know there's like pirating. Like I see the videos, you know. of
Okay.
the
You're
thinking
pirates.
modern day
Pirates.
pirates.
Modern
Yes.
day pirates. I didn't really.
Okay.
I knew piracy was a thing.
You just
Yes.
thought that maybe they had borrowed the term from movies, right? And TV and books. And they were
No,
like,
How
I
deep
didn't
does this
really
go,
understand.
Chantal? It's a safe space.
You guys are my two best friends. I know this is not a safe
I
space.
mean, we're not going to
How's
cut
that
you
War
loose over
Perrier?
this, but we're
but you are
for
gonna make
someone
fun of
so
me a lot.
smart. Like when you throw
I
these
have
at
my
us,
real
we're
dumb
like,
moments,
what?
I know.
it's making me question everything.
I know.
Okay.
I'm like, people trust their safety with this lady, which they should, because you're very good at nursing. But like,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Everything
Thank you.
else,
Just
I
don't
don't
ask
know.
me about pirates. That's all.
okay, pirates are off the table.
Well, now
after
you
this
can. Wait, I
episode.
have lots of information. now you
okay.
can ask me.
Which may or may not
Good.
be true. Go ahead. I'm excited to learn.
Yes.
Learn along with
Um,
you for the first time.
So a pirate is just simply someone who commits robbery or criminal violence at sea or on a coast by people who are not represented of like a nation. So
Hmm.
they're just kind of doing things on their own.
Sovereign
Um,
citizens.
Yes, basically. Pirates in history date back as far as 12,000 BCE, but
That's-
were known as sea peoples, and they were from the Mediterranean and raided places like Egyptian port cities, and even famously fought Ramses III of Egypt.
Oh.
And in the Roman area, Julius Caesar was once kidnapped by pirates.
I haven't heard of either of
Okay.
these.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys are learning some things too.
Yeah.
See, pirates are real.
Okay.
They are.
I knew that they were, but okay.
During the Viking Age, Vikings were essentially pirates who were raiding coastal towns and ships, which I think doesn't sum them up that well. Maybe we'll get into Vikings some other time. That's probably make a good topic.
we
but
definitely
should.
should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I freaking love Vikings. Like they did a lot of bad shit, but like it's
Mhm.
kind of cool still.
Well, look, they have really great hair too. So
It's kind of my history.
Oh my god, it is. And maybe mine, because I'm
Yeah.
Scottish. We were doing bad stuff too.
I'm
Lindsay too.
like 5%
We were bad
Viking.
too.
Apparently. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
well, remember when we found out that I'm like part Neanderthal, or what did it say?
Mm-mm. Remind me to send you an article about that because
Oh, what
you
they're
got
being
some
sued.
bad shit coming your way.
I'm so glad that it was my brother's identity stolen, and not my own.
yeah.
Oh,
no,
they actually
I
came to
meant
a
about
deal
the-
with that, I think.
Oh,
for
did they?
23andMe, right? Is that it?
Mhm.
23andMe?
Yes,
Okay,
it was
let's
I think
talk
his
about
stuff
this
is
after,
safe.
'cause I'm
Okay.
excited.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, it's his stuff. I'm always safe because I didn't spit into a tube.
Mhm. There you
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So next we have the golden age of piracy, which was between 1650 to 1730. And
Short.
this is when it kind of really took off for three main reasons. The first was because of all the colonial wealth, where European empires were extracting gold, sugar, and goods from colonies,
People.
especially in the Americas. And this made a sea full of targets.
Mhm.
War and peacetime, they had privateers that they were legally hiring as pirates during the wartime, and then the government just laid them all off after the wars during peacetime. And these guys were like, well, what do we do now? So they just went rogue and became pirates because that's what they knew how to do. And then during the slave trade and shipping lanes, that were created, there were high traffic areas that had a lot of valuables and goods to steal. And the major shipping lanes were just very narrow pathways, basically, that like it was predictable. They knew they had to go through these shipping lanes. And so that was mainly in the Caribbean, the Straits of Florida, the Gold Coast of Africa, and the Indian Ocean. So pirates would just set up shop near these areas to easily ambush ships, just chock full of goods to steal. And peg legs and eye patches are more so made up, but pirates were likely to have lots of injuries, so it's fictitious liberty taken in movies, but it wasn't that far from the truth. of
Parrots? What
they
about
actually
parrots?
kind of
Oh.
looked like. They said that parrots would have been a very exotic pets that weren't likely to have. It would be like
That's
That's the
something that
only
maybe-
like the coolest
Yeah.
pirate would
Yes,
have
but
one.
they would often have the flags with the skull and crossbones or a Jolly Roger on it.
I was gonna say yes. So
Yeah.
I learned that in my research as well.
Okay, so this is why I was always confused. Okay.
Well, no, to be fair, it is very glamorized, and when you're a kid,
Mhm.
you're not learning about piracy in that sense in school. It's always like movies where you see it first, so you think like
Yes.
that's just like a fun story. And
Yeah.
obviously the what's that Treasure Island made it
Mhm.
really
Yeah.
popular, but like all based on real stuff, which I find like wow, the world is so young, and yet we've done so much crazy shit.
Yes. we
Okay, I
have.
still got more to go.
Okay. Okay.
So now I'm going to tell us about the Pirates of the Caribbean fan theories, and it's something that I really love, and I'm going to believe it until the day that I die. I think that I mentioned it to you guys before. I know that it's all over my algorithm. I don't know if it is for you guys as well, but I want to be cool too, so I'm going to talk about it on here.
I'm pumped.
So the original name of the Black Pearl, which was from when the first Disney ride came out, was actually the Wicked Wench. Did you know that the ride came out in 1967?
No, but I knew that the ride
Oh.
came first. I knew
Yeah,
the ride came
the-
first because I went there in 1998, and
And it-
I was like, "This ride is amazing."
Yeah,
And then they
and
actually
then they made a movie off of it.
yeah, and like even
Yeah.
the dog with the keys, like that's in the movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
I met him. I mean,
Yeah.
it was animatronic.
Is this
but still.
Disney World? You said?
Yes, Florida.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So I was there in the 90s,
So-
but maybe I was too young for this ride. I don't remember. So it was.
No,
No,
No?
it wouldn't have been.
no, it was like a really you sat in a boat
You,
and
you sat in a boat.
went
Yeah, it's not like a roller
Oh,
coaster
yeah,
ride. You're
okay.
going through like the animatronics.
Yeah.
and it's
Okay. I remember
quite
sitting in
large.
the boat ones were my favorite, so I probably did go on. I was so long
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
I was 6.
The
so.
the world one is also a really long boat one too.
And that was even scarier.
Okay, so Jack Sparrow was the captain of it. He worked at the time for the East Indian Trading Company, which was led by Cutler Beckett. Cutler Beckett is the one who was supposed to marry Elizabeth Swanson. Swan. Sorry,
Okay.
and
Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson.
Elizabeth Ron
and-
Swanson.
Anyway, so when Jack Sparrow found out that one of his cargoes he was carrying was actually enslaved peoples, he chose to free them instead. And as punishment, Jack was branded as a pirate, and Beckett burned the Wicked Wench, leading it to its watery grave. Jack then made a deal with Davy Jones to have the ship resurrected. Now, with black sails and dark wood, because it had been burnt before and was apparently in hell, it became the Black Pearl and was cursed because magic normally comes with some sort of a price. So how did this fan theory come about, though? And I actually found the clip, and this is pretty good evidence. So in 2007, there were deleted scenes from the Pirates of the Caribbean, the At World's End. I have the link, so you can go and watch these little ones. And it had Beckett and Jack talking. And Beckett, he's staring at a window at the Black Pearl, and he says, "The last time I saw that ship, it was on fire, a blackened hull sinking beneath the waves. We had a deal, Jack. I contracted you to deliver cargo on my behalf. You chose to liberate it." To which Jack says, "People aren't cargo, mate." Then Beckett says, "And you incurred a heavy debt to raise her up again, didn't you?"
Okay, so like it's so
like,
obvious. Like
it's-
yes,
Right.
It's very obvious that is kind of where the theory is coming
they
from.
should have left that in because
Yeah.
I know.
it makes Jack a
That would've
little
been really
more like, oh, you
cool.
are a person. Like you're not that selfish.
Well, actually, so
Yeah.
other evidence that goes on to say that this could be, true is because Jack has a grudge toward Beckett and the East Indian Trading Company, which could be because of the real life historical ties to slavery. And in Dead Man's Chest, Beckett says that Jack at one point, it was just good business, which apparently could be a nod at the opposing views that the men had around slavery. The Black Pearl is also hellbound, and this could be due to its tie to the slave trade.
Yeah.
And while Jack is often depicted as selfish throughout the stories, he's also known as having a moral compass that often eventually does the right thing. For instance, in Dead Man's Chest, he frees the natives. Refusing to take part in the slave trade just seems like it would be pretty on par for his personality.
100%. And but you're
Yeah.
right. It takes him a while to get to the right thing sometimes, but
Yeah.
in general,
We're going to talk a
So
little bit
back-
about that in my case too. So,
Yeah, so history, back to like history of pirates and things like that. So as I said, the East Indian Trading Company in real life was actually trading enslaved people, and some pirates in the history rejected oppressive systems like slavery. So They would attack slave ships. Usually it was for profit, to be fair, but some pirates did free the enslaved people as well as accept them as crew members. And lastly, in history, another thing that the Pirates of the Caribbean got right is that pirates did, in fact, love their rum, and it was cheap and easily available in the Caribbean.
God, it's so good.
Yep.
So that's my brief history and my little bit of a fan theory.
Oh, I love that.
it.
And I totally
I would-
subscribe to that theory. That is what
Mhm.
happened.
Yeah,
Like,
I really
for
want to
sure.
Yeah.
rewatch
Like-
the first one again.
like
been
I
so
could watch
long.
that movie once a month.
I was just like, I was shocked watching this, and I was like, why are people saying this isn't true then? Like, I feel like that conversation says this is true. It's just,
Yeah.
It's almost like they just added a little more context to what likely would have been the rest of that storyline had they left it in. But like
Mhm.
the scene proves that likely is exactly what they had intended to, which means there probably are more scenes that they shot.
Oh
And
yeah,
cut.
this was so
Yeah.
the whole clip that I have is about, I think it's 7 minutes, and that's only like a minute and a half of it. So it does a
Oh.
bunch of clips that had been cut
Okay.
from it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Definitely drop that in the
Pretty
chat,
cool.
and then we will
Yes.
share it if people are interested. Because
Oh, it's gonna be. It's part of my my references, so it's
Yeah,
definitely.
so it'll
gonna
be on our
the
website
Excellent.
for sure, so you can
Mhm.
watch the whole clip, and then watch the whole movie.
Yes.
Right.
God,
Okay.
it's so good. That and the Mummy every damn day. Oh,
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna get into our first pirate of the day, and that is Blackbeard. I think
Classic.
he's
Ugh.
one of the most famous pirates.
See,
That
somebody
is
also
it.
didn't know was real.
Yeah. He actually is
Well,
real.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, like based on the name, I think he's in so much shit that you may just assume he was a fictional character. I don't know
Totally
anything about
not.
him other than that. I know his name and that's it.
This is why I'm so
That's-
confused.
That's all I knew as well. I knew he was real, so I'm one step ahead of Chantel, but that's it. That's it.
Okay.
So we'll learn about him together and
Thank you.
And just reinforce that pirates are real. Okay. So Blackbeard, obviously that was not his real name though, as you can imagine.
What?
I know.
Trish,
So
that
his
was
mom
not
wasn't
born
like,
I-
"Oh, the baby
I shall
Blackbeard."
call him Blackbeard.
He was born with a full beard. He won. So
Ma'am, that's your placenta. It's just
Oh,
dried.
God.
oh my goodness.
I'm not cut out for motherhood. Like I
Oh
just,
my
I can't.
God. I've actually not even seen it because is this too much TMI? Maybe. Oh, we can cut it out later. Anyway,
Do you want to tell my 100 people?
well, I'm sure. I mean, so my first birth was vaginal birth, but like the placenta like got stuck or something, so I had to have like a DNC after to get it out. So I wasn't really conscious for that. And then the second one I had was a C-section. So whatever happened was beyond the sheet. And I don't know what happened.
You're like, I'm not
So
even
I
here.
didn't even
I'm not
see
even
it. So I haven't even seen it. So, anyways, back to
Fair.
this. Back to not.
That's not that
placentas.
TMI. That's like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
standard stuff
It's
to be a woman.
standard. Yeah. Yeah. So
God bless you for having kids.
birthing a
I
children is a lot.
could
Anyway,
never.
yeah. You could. You just don't
I
want to, and I
could.
respect that.
Correct.
So, okay. So he was born Edward Teach, or possibly Edward Thatch. That's up for debate on his last name, but often
Okay.
people think it was Teach.
Edward.
Yeah, Edward T. Eddie T.
Eddie T.
He was most likely born in Bristol, England, into probably a middle-class family where probably some of them were mariners or near the sea because Bristol was not that far from the ocean. At this point, Bristol was a major port in the slave trade, not for slaves themselves, but for the goods that they would exchange for slaves. So, not great, but
It's just so fucking disgusting. Sorry.
It is. His family was probably involved in this at some point because there's some history that says his family actually moved to Jamaica and lived on a plantation. But this is probably where he got his beginnings of knowing ships and navigating the ocean.
Yep.
So I'm actually going to, I didn't have it ready. I was going to text it to you right away. And this is a picture of Blackbeard. So there
What
you
if he
go.
has like bright red hair?
He does no. Yeah, he's not Firebeard.
So-
Why are his ears on fire?
well,
She's
we're
gonna
gonna get
tell
to
you.
that. Don't
Yeah,
worry. And it's not
Okay.
I know.
nice.
I've definitely seen this photo before. This is like,
Yes.
and he looks wild in his
Yes.
face. Like
Oh,
He
yeah.
looks a bit Scottish.
Yeah.
this is definitely like a Jack Sparrow type though, like with
Yes,
the beard
for
and
sure.
the hat.
I'd be
Okay,
willing
well,
to
I'm-
bet that Jack Sparrow is kind of based off.
Loosely based. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did, and also Keith Richards. that's who he blended in his mind.
Oh.
Which
Okay,
makes
I
sense
can
with
see
the
that.
eyeliner.
Yeah.
And don't they
And all
then use
the-
Keith Richards as his father in the other movies?
Oh my God. So I
Yeah.
think
Oh,
that's where it
yeah,
happened. And then
yeah.
he's like, hey, let's bring him on in here.
Yeah. Fair.
Totally makes sense. So in 1700, Charles II of Spain, he was one of the Habsburgs. Remember we talked about
Oh.
Mm.
Oh,
the
I'm never
change-
going to forget.
Oh my God. So he died without an heir to the Spanish throne because he could not conceive because of all the inbreeding.
Because he was
Inbreeding?
so
that's
messed
led
up.
to-
Because
yeah, he was.
Family tree was a wreath.
Was it right?
Yeah.
The gene pool was a puddle.
Yes.
It was a cup.
Yeah. So he would have had probably a pretty bad existence, I imagine, having all his problems. So anyway, he could
Some
not
of those
have
guys couldn't
children.
even talk, I don't think. Yes. Sorry.
Oh
I
my
just,
gosh.
like, can't-
Yeah.
I just wish I couldn't unlearn about the Habsburgs.
Yes. Well, it's because of them. This led to the War of Spanish Succession from 1701 to 1714 because there were two families competing for the throne because, it was up for grabs
okay.
at that point.
And they weren't the same family. Sorry.
No, surprisingly, no. So one was from France. So during this time, England was worried that France would take over the Spanish throne, therefore unifying France and Spain, which could challenge their dominance, which they loved,
Yep.
especially at this
Mhm.
time. So
They
they didn't
really
really want
loved it.
that to happen. So they allowed people to join the war efforts as privateers. That way they can bring their own ships. And as Chantal already mentioned, they could basically be pirates, but they were legal pirates and they could pillage. And I think they mostly got to take the loot that they found, or they would give a percentage kickback, something like
I
that.
feel like
But they were pirates, so they probably weren't completely honest with what they got.
Yes, but they were
from what I recall, it would be like they would do a percentage, but it was kind of like do
Yes.
whatever you want as long as like these tasks get done, and then they don't care. It was
as
just
long as
such
you're,
a
you're pulling
crazy
over
time.
the bad guys kind of thing and, taking their stuff.
Yeah.
Then we're happy, you're happy. It's all good.
Barrett's privateers would never.
Yes, never. They're the best privateers.
Mhm.
We should play that song at some point.
Obviously,
Yeah.
I was like, how can we incorporate this?
We'll have to play it. Okay. So Edward, at some point between 1706 and 1713, was in the Royal Navy originally, but switched to becoming a privateer. Probably it was more exciting.
More money.
Sounds exciting. Yeah. After the war ended, what they were called letters of marque, those were the kind of passes given to privateers to let them do what they want. They were essentially expired at this point. So, as Chantal already mentioned, people did not want to just give it up easily. Plus, that's your career. All of a sudden, you're like, I can't do
That
what
would.
I'm so good at pillaging and
I'm so
sailing.
good at being like a piece of shit and stealing.
I'm really good at stealing things. I don't want to stop this.
Right. I mean, we'll get into it, but it may not have been all like bad. Okay. So, this was, as Chantal mentioned, the golden age of piracy from 1650 to 1730. But this was a really key point because the privateers disbanded. Pirates are everywhere at this point.
Oh my God.
So
Scary.
one well-known privateer of the time, Benjamin Hornigold, took Edward under his wing and trained him. And they decided at this point, when privateering was over, that they would continue as pirates. And this was around 1716. So Edward is officially a pirate now. It was also around this time that Edward got his signature look, which led to his famous nickname, Blackbeard. Men of this
Such a
era,
crazy look.
yeah. Men of this era were often clean shaven. It was just seen like the gentlemanly look to have, not intimidating. So seeing a man with a full beard was pretty rare, and
Okay.
it really gave him notoriety with his appearance. Not everyone's gonna have he had a giant beard. Like apparently it's like
It also looks like dreadlocks. Could
in
this
this
be
picture,
the style of beard?
yes. So I guess in some things they said he like braided them together.
Like that's fucking cool.
Well, I'm
also kind of
thinking that
Viking.
like beard care was probably not that well known.
Can you imagine?
for the
Wait,
time.
my beard oil. Wait.
especially if most men don't have beards. Like
Don't
the
have
beard
it? Yeah.
cane would have been, maintaining that would have been hard.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's not just a regular beard; it was a huge beard, and he would sometimes put like I guess ribbons in it too, which to me that does not sound intimidating, but you're jazzing
Depends on
it
their
up.
shade. Depends on their shade. What if they were like blood red? It's creepy.
Yes. So what he would do is also he'd put fuses in his beard to make that spooky effect that would make him more ominous. So that's what you're seeing in that
Okay.
picture there.
Gotcha. His ears
Yeah.
are not on fire. Got it. Okay.
No,
It's his
no, it was
beard.
just
Close,
his
though.
beard, and like I guess it'd be kind of like dry ice situation. Maybe it's like, ooh,
Okay.
he's
Yeah.
He sounds
Spooky.
cool though. Like he
Yeah.
does. I'm sure he's really
I
bad,
want
but
to
he
invite him
sounds
to my
cool.
next Halloween party.
Of course. He would
would
also
win best
keep,
costume.
Yeah.
as you can see in the picture, numerous pistols and swords on him. So that way he
just a couple.
further emphasize
Looks
you know,
scary
how
as shit.
scary he looks. So he's becoming more and more infamous at this point. And in 1717, he and Hornigold would capture a slave ship called La Concorde. And this was a big moment for Blackbeard because he would end up taking over this ship as his own and having his first solo, not solo as a crew, but like his first ship.
Yeah.
And he would call it Queen Anne's Revenge. And
Good
to
for
which-
her.
Yes. And to Chantal's point earlier, he took some of the slaves as his crew. So he probably picked, the best, toughest guys.
Fittest.
Right. So in some ways it's like, okay, you were giving them maybe a better life than they would have if they had become slaves, but also they still would bring some people to land to sell off as slaves for money. So it's like,
yeah,
your
yeah.
main motivation is like your kind of
Money,
your
greed.
self-interest at this
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Blackbeard would continue pirating, and one thing you might not expect is, in Pirates of the Caribbean, it was always gold and silver and jewels. This was not really the case. Pirates weren't after these things. They were after spices, medicine, and those were much more valuable to them at this point. It was also a lot lighter to carry spices than gold.
Not as exciting.
It's not.
Give me that oregano.
They
or
did,
else.
to Chantal's point, have like rum and alcohol too, and they
Oh, well, that-
definitely indulged. So Blackbeard was not only a successful pirate, he was also successful with the ladies.
Yeah, like I'm halfway there already.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have
Megan's like,
made you one
"Shiver
of
me
his
timbers."
port ladies for sure.
I'll walk your plank.
Your Porto.
That's funny.
Well, you could have been. He took as many as 14 wives, one at every port, maybe.
There's
That
a
was kind of
chance.
the
Wow.
theory. He was, definitely. He loved love. He,
Such a romantic.
yes, that was kind of how he was portrayed. Like he wasn't like, he just really liked the company of women and he treated them well. And
Yeah, because
he
we're awesome.
either fell in love easily, but it was also probably convenient to have, a lady at each port. That way, if he ever encountered any issues, he'd have someone to testify on his behalf who loved him dearly.
What is that
Uh,
song
so
about?
this
Like,
makes
I
sense
got
for, like-
hoes in different area
Area
codes.
codes, yeah.
that was
This also makes sense for like Jack Sparrow, who has also had a lot of ladies. So
Yes.
Again,
I
I'm
see
watching
He
the
that
can't help
movie.
it.
Yeah.
He was very, very sexy. So apparently, behind that beard, who knows? But with the beard, yes.
I don't want to smell the beard.
Yeah, you have
No,
some men
not
shave their
much.
beard. You're like, oh no, and you look like
Yeah,
a baby.
like Damien did during COVID, and I'm like,
That was
well,
your
you're
makeup.
Never
That
doing
was
that
your
again.
makeup.
Yeah,
Right.
that's your push-up bra. You gotta keep
Yeah.
that bad boy
Like
on.
Finley was like,
Mhm.
I'm an angry baby when I shave. I'm like, that's yeah, we don't want that. Keep the beard.
He's not allowed to shave his beard. Finley, keep that beard.
Absolutely. Yes. Another thing that isn't really true about pirates is they're made out that they're very violent and they're like killing people and stuff. That didn't happen that often. It was more about just like they just want to steal things. They want to do it with as minimal damage as possible to their ship and to their crew because really
Kind of makes sense.
yeah, like what's the point? Like we don't want to like be down like 30 men and dying on our ship that's now damaged. So that it really wasn't that violent. It was more like intimidation, hence why he made this image for himself. So, Blackbeard, like I said, didn't really use violence. It was the fear factor. He would often use element of
TM.
surprise. So sometimes he would fly like a friendly flag, like maybe like if you're from like France, he's like, yeah, France, yay. Making them appear to be allies. And then what he would do is when the ship came close enough, he'd switch it up and he'd put up his own pirate flag to be like, ha ha ha, you're
I can
actually
see the scene in my head.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you his pirate flag right now.
Yes,
Here it
please.
is on the screen.
Oh my god.
Ah.
That's amazing.
I'm
Isn't it cool?
trying to unpack what.
It looks like
Yeah.
okay. Oh, do you know what it looks like? It
Yes,
looks
a
like
White
the White
Walker.
Walker. Yeah.
Yes. I knew
The white-
exactly
yeah.
what you were gonna say.
The White Walker King stabbing a heart
Stabbing
with
a heart.
spear,
Yeah.
holding like a goblet or something in another
I thought it was
hand.
one of those little like horns there.
Well, I figured they didn't have those then, but yeah.
It does look like that.
Piracy.
Oh,
So scary.
no! You mean an air horn? I mean like the. You mean sorry?
Megan means a
Pirate air horn. Okay.
Like a clown, like yeah, and then what is it like?
Okay. Okay, well, you're not gonna have a little tiny horn.
Listen,
You're
both
steal
of
your
those didn't
spices
exist
and your
back then.
laters. So yeah, that's
You're gonna give me that turmeric. They're both ridiculous, but
oh my God.
the air horn's scarier. I hate that sound. Can I
Me
just tell
too.
you?
Yeah.
Whenever I hear it in a song, I'm like, oh. Anywho,
Yeah. So
the flag is just
open to interpretation of what that
Mhm.
horn is, but this was the flag that they would fly, and then they would like board a ship and like, we're taking all your goods, and
Mhm.
maybe anyone who looks like they could be a good pirate crew member.
Also, all you hotties, get on.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Oh, yeah.
You can stay.
And then they would just like melt away, and they would just be in love with him. So at some point, the crown is getting fed up with the fact that pirates are everywhere. So they decided to offer like a deal. If you were to turn yourself in and rat out your pirate friends, then you will be immune. We won't like hang you and stuff, and you can keep whatever
Mm.
you
yeah,
have.
you
So,
will be hanged, but you will be hanged by someone else because
yeah,
you
you're
can't
gonna rat
like
people
be a
out?
rat.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Well, Blackbeard decided to hatch a plan. Like, how can I cash in on this being one of the most famous pirates? Well, what I'll do is he got his crew drunk. Now, some of his crew were in on this, like his favorite crew
I love how this
members.
starts already. Crew's drunk. I'm in.
Yeah. And the story goes that he intentionally kind of beached his ship. He went off the ship, went to like the governor or whatever, and said, "Look, I have people to turn in over here
Wait.
to rat them out for immunity."
What the fuck?
Oh my
I
god.
did not think he was gonna do that.
Me neither.
Yeah, I know. Oh, he didn't. Yeah, he just took his.
I
favor.
should have
He
put two
probably
and two
had a lot
together.
of- yeah, he probably had a lot of crew members like, "You're not actually that good of a pirate, so maybe we leave you behind."
Got you.
So he was granted a
Still.
pardon and was given immunity, but this did not again stop him from being a pirate. He could have just stopped at this
Stop
point, but
there.
no.
Yeah.
Can't
He loves
stop.
pirating so much.
I
It's
love
a
it so
pirate's
much.
life for him. So here he
Mhm.
goes. So the governor of North Carolina at the time seemed to kind of turn a blind eye to him because it was kind of mutually beneficial for that area. They didn't maybe have as much money, so him kind of taking goods was kind of helping everyone. So no
Was
one was
he, like,
complaining.
So wait, how was he like somehow giving? Was it stimulating the economy? Is that why it was okay?
I think so. It was more like he say he gets spices and stuff, and then he gives it to the people for like a really good deal. They would pay like so much
Okay.
more if they were to buy it like
So
legitimately.
it falls off the truck, but everyone in the community gets to then
Right.
buy said
Yes.
ill-gotten goods, and then okay.
Exactly.
I
Now
mean, this is why black markets exist, though. Honestly,
Exactly. So some other richer areas, I believe like South Carolina, were not as into this because it was not beneficial for them. So there was another story where Blackbeard really fell into their bad graces down there. So he held a ship captive and its crew for 1 week because they were
Okay.
desperate to get medicine, specifically mercury, because they all likely a lot of them had syphilis, and this at the time was thought to be the
Oh.
cure for syphilis. It was
I
not.
feel like it's not.
It made it worse, or made them worse.
Oh.
But at the time,
worse.
it would alleviate the immediate symptoms of syphilis. And we all know, Blackbeard got around, so he's probably had a lot of STIs.
Megan, you still want to be
and-
one of those port hoes? Okay.
She's as long as you're the first one, you're fine.
Yeah. She's the one that
I-
gave it to him.
Fuck you. No, I'm the one who got away. I broke his heart, and
I
now he's
got you.
self-destructing.
Right.
Got you,
That's
got
why
you,
he had to
okay.
turn to a life
Yeah.
of piracy. It's
And I
Yeah.
used to wear fuses in my hair, and so he's like, I'm always going to honor her by wearing fuses in my hair.
Oh,
That's
okay,
what
got you.
happened.
And because his
Exactly.
genitals are now on fire.
Yes. He's like, if I focus up here, I will focus on the pain down below.
Yes, and the pain
Below
in my
deck,
heart.
Below deck.
as it were. And also the heart. I meant more
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
penis, but yes,
Yes, yeah.
yours also makes sense.
So there was a Lieutenant Robert Maynard who really had enough of Blackbeard and his shenanigans, especially after this whole
And all
hold
that
up
damn
thing,
syphilis.
which they
Mhm.
did get their medicine, by the way. Anyway, so he decided to
Good.
take the Navy and capture him. So this was not going to be an easy thing to do. So they ended up trying to trick Blackbeard. So they allowed Blackbeard and his crew to like throw ammunitions their way, like grenades, things like that. They hid below deck and they pretended like they're dead and stuff. So Blackbeard and his men board the ship thinking, I think
Trojan horse.
we're good.
Reverse Trojan horse.
Exactly. Not the
Mhm.
first, but you know.
Yeah, but they're like, hey, wait. This is a good
Right.
idea.
Exactly. So unfortunately this did not work out well. They were ambushed, brutal fight. Blackbeard and Maynard fought viciously at one another. Blackbeard was like shot in the knee or something at one point, and he was like, "Good job, guy!" Like he was just kind of like egging him on at this point.
Asshole.
But Maynard ends up like slitting his throat and eventually decapitating Blackbeard. So this was
Oh
an
my God.
epic battle. This might have actually been the first time though that Blackbeard actually killed anyone, like because quite a few like men on each side died during this battle.
Mm.
He was actually potentially very nonviolent up until this point.
Wow.
So
Okay.
give me more like lover over fighter energy. So
Yeah, I think so. So they ended up putting his head on display on their boat for quite a while. And it was said that his head might have eventually been like filled with silver and used as some goblet for like frat like
Like
Huh?
initiation.
frosh initiation, like you had to drink out of his
What?
head. That was like the rumor that was shared. I don't know
Okay.
if it's true.
I mean,
Um,
unlikely. but-
Yeah, but they decapitated him and displayed his head as a warning for other pirates,
big
which really
yikes.
sucks because I feel like he could have just, he didn't play that very well at the end. He probably could have escaped or just been more discreet. I don't know, or like.
Mm.
Someone's like, he
find
could
it
have just
kind of
shaved his beard. He
crazy.
could have wandered off and been like a free man. No one
Who
would
the fuck is
recognize
that guy?
him.
That's fair.
I can't believe
Exactly.
that they seem to think that this could have been his first ever like real violent fight.
Yeah.
'Cause that's not how pirates are portrayed.
No, not at all. So I think it sounds like he was much more gentle in real life. He was immortalized in the book A General History of the Robberies and Murders of the Most Notorious Pirates, published in 1724 by Charles Johnson. So that's kind of where he kind of retained his infamy. In 1996, his ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, was actually found off the coast of North Carolina, and the artifacts are on display in North Carolina. Don't ask me where. I didn't get to that point because I figured this would take us quite far.
We're gonna
But
go.
that is,
That
we're
sounds
gonna have
awesome.
to go and find out where
Yeah.
the artifacts are. Sounds like there probably shouldn't be that much gold given their actual.
Well, based on what
cargo,
you're saying,
but-
that was more like organic stuff people were trading.
yeah. But anyway, that is the brief story of Blackbeard.
Freaking cool.
Damn. He's
I didn't
real.
know any
Yeah,
of that.
he's real.
Yes, he's
I
real.
didn't know
And
any
he's
of that.
sexy, Chantel. So
Oh.
But he has
I-
loads of STIs. so-
Yeah.
I think he can keep his
Yeah.
crabs to himself.
Right.
Okay. I'm good.
There's probably
Yeah.
a few barnacles in there too.
Yeah.
yeah.
What's so funny about this being a shorter episode is that it's not going to be a shorter episode. I'm
They
just
never
like-
are. I'm so sorry,
But-
listeners.
It's okay.
So, you know what? I don't think we have to apologize. We wanted to make it shorter for us, but people seem to like this show a little bit. So,
yeah. It's okay. We just
so-
can't talk through Megan's at all.
Right.
So here's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I'm going to get my notes up because I may have closed the window accidentally. Okay, here we go.
No problem.
Now, I have like little mini segments, and if you allow me to tell the story, we can do a brief comment question period at the end of each little segment. Because otherwise, I don't know how long this will take.
Okay. I do have to eat dinner. So
Oh, so do I. I haven't eaten either. Okay, so you can open up my photos and you can look at photos 1 through 4. And I'll tell you right now, I have never seen this episode in my life, but in my millennial heart, I was like, I know that Miss
I know, I've
Frizzle.
definitely seen it because I did
Oh,
not
yeah.
miss any of these.
I'm like, I know she was a pirate at least once.
Yeah.
So I Googled Miss Frizzle pirate, and lo and behold, there's an episode.
Oh, you
And
didn't even know for sure? You just
no,
looked it up?
but like I
Amazing.
knew though.
Oh,
I knew in
I
my
love
heart.
the Magic
So
School Bus.
photos 1 through 4. And
Okay.
if you recall, in the Magic School Bus, she always had like a relative who was like related, like, oh well, my fourth cousin,
yes.
whatever. So this is her great grandfather times 1,000, Redbeard,
Okay.
which
got it.
just
Redbeard. Got
spoiler,
it.
it's
Yeah.
her, but she has no eyelashes or lips. It's basically her.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off with this. Ahoy, mateys and landlubbers, avast! On this day, I relay the scuttlebutt through bilge and tell ye a tale of 4 fine pirates of a more feminine nature. So if you couldn't get that, I'm going to tell you about 4 female pirates.
Oh, that's what you
Ooh,
meant.
Yes.
Feminine nature, not Blackbeard, although he probably could have fit
I'm
in this
glad
category.
you're doing this because I was debating on a female pirate or Blackbeard, but I was like, oh, let's do Blackbeard because he's really well known.
He's like the classic.
Right. So I'm
Um,
excited.
So photos 1 through 4 are just for
Yes.
fun. They're just for
Okay.
funsies.
Oh, okay.
Photos 5 and 6. This is our first badass female pirate.
Oh.
And this may be a shock to you, but I don't speak Chinese. So please bear with me. I also don't speak Gaelic. That's
Why?
also a hint.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is Zheng Yi Sao or Xingxi or Shi Yang. She actually has like 10 more names. The pirate queen of the Black Flag Fleet.
Ooh.
Okay.
Say that 5 times fast.
Black Flag Fleet. No, I'm
Pirate
already gonna mess it
queen
up.
of the Black Flag Fleet.
It's impossible.
Why is that so hard?
There was even more. I'm like, I'm only gonna say it once. She was born in 1775 in Guangdong, China, and lived a very simple life until marrying a pirate named Zheng, because it's spelled with a Z, but it's Zheng Yi at age 26 in 1801. There's no historical proof of this, but it's thought that she could have been a sex worker or that she was kidnapped by Zheng Yi. Because again, we don't know if anyone was doing anything willingly when it came to a pirate.
Especially women.
Yeah.
Women.
Women.
But she turns it around, so just wait. During her marriage, she was at the helm with her husband as he controlled the red flag fleet.
Oh, God.
Goddamn.
Okay.
Of over 300 ships and roughly 40,000 men. When pirate captain Young Ji fell overboard and died on November 16th, 1807, Shi Yang pulled up her bootstraps and took over with full support of her other pirate leaders and the crew, which is, I think, shocking, really, to hear.
Yeah.
That they were just like,
supporting
go get it.
like a woman in this situation back then.
I think that just speaks volumes to like who
Yeah.
she was as a person.
she must have been phenomenal.
Oh, just wait. She sailed through Southeast Asia, plundering, as you do, and soon fell in love with her trusted lieutenant. She
Aw.
created a rigorous pirate code for her men, and just for instance, the punishment for rape was beheading.
Oh, wow.
Good. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love
that
it.
should be the punishment.
Bring back that kind of energy.
Yeah.
Or then we just go too far. I don't know. By 1810, she was way too powerful, as you guys have both alluded that kingdoms love when their little attack dogs are doing what they want. As soon as they're doing more, they're like, oh, shit, actually, can you reel that back in? So the governments of Britain and Portugal were enlisted to help capture her and her fleet. She cut a deal, as is very unpirate-like as we've discussed. And her deal was to surrender, but she got to keep all of her stolen goods. So again, I'm
not
kind of
bad.
loving this for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shi Yang retired as the proprietor of a gambling house and died at the age of 69. Nice. In 1844.
Okay.
Like she lived
Damn.
hard and
Wow.
fast.
Yeah.
Picture 7 and 8. And you'll notice that
Oh,
my ladies'
hello.
tits
Hello.
are
Your
out.
ladies are saying hello.
This is Anne Bonny. So please enjoy the next 2 photos. I love her in the second photo. She looks like a badass pilgrim or something.
Yeah. There's no boob in the second
Okay.
photo.
I know.
But you can tell there's like an
Yes.
impression like she could be packing.
You can tell she still has breasts in the next photo.
So Anne was born Anne Cormac in 1698 in Ireland, we think. Her mother had an affair with a wealthy Irish lawyer, maybe, who helped her get a job in his office as a law clerk, but only if she dressed and pretended to be a boy, potentially. This was fine for a while, but in 1718, at 20 years old, she left Ireland for America, where she soon married a sailor, so they say. And they soon
much
decided to
love.
head to the pirate-infested island of New Providence Island, Nassau, Bahamas, perhaps. So none of that is verified.
pirate-infested
Where's the
island?
facts, Megan?
Okay,
We're
so-
gonna fact check this.
It's funny that you mentioned that book, Lindsay, because
Mhm.
a lot of what I'm going to tell you next, the next like 3 people, are mentioned in this book, and there's no mention of them at all until 1720, and nothing's verifiable. So they think this guy was like, I heard about this. Let me just
Yeah,
say
well,
it's real.
This is apparently the book on piracy. Like pirate. If you're a pirate, you're in this book.
Even Wikipedia says,
Yeah.
So like
Mm.
that's how you know it's really dicey.
That's how you know.
Now, let's just assume it's all real. Once she's in Bahamas, she seemed to have ditched her husband to join a pirate crew under the leadership of Jack Calico Rackham. And he's another very famous, notorious pirate.
Hmm.
Either they fell in love or they were just friends. There's literally no evidence of anything.
Is it because he thought she was a man?
that will come into a later story. Sorry, not
Okay.
she was a man. That's a
It's a-
20-year-old inside joke.
Yeah.
So she did dress as a male in her fashion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And everyone actually thought that she was a man. So
Mhm.
again, maybe they were bumping uglies. Maybe they were just friends. Like there's literally, I've heard there's
Okay.
2 completely separate stories, and both are not verified. So, but she was hanging out with Jack, and they were very close. They could have just been great partners. Who knows? And she did form a strong bond with another pirate, Mary Reed, and I'm going to cover her next. Anne and the crew, including Jack, were captured in 1720 by other pirate hunters, which is like now a thing. Like you said, as soon as like the rules change, it's like it's all fend for yourself.
Mhm.
Anne and her bestie, Pirate Mary, were going to be hanged along with the rest of the crew when they exclaimed, "We are quick with child." Pregnant.
Quick
Mhm.
with child.
We're
Okay.
quick. So how? Oh, how did that happen? I'm quick with child. It's hard to know if this is true because, again, there's virtually no written records of any of this. And there's also a note in some research that I found where she may have had a child with Calico Jack. And if she
Okay.
did, that child was abandoned in Cuba.
Hmm.
Oh, how
so,
nice.
like, not cool.
So this is actually all giving Chantel some credit for not knowing what's real because
Thank
Yeah,
you.
because there's nothing
Mhm.
written down and there's no records. I do have some stuff that I'll show you towards the end where it talks about this 1720 mass pirate capture event, and it's just cool. Old docs are cool, y'all.
Yeah.
Hot take, I know. When Anne was watching her friend or maybe lover, Captain, being strung up, she lovingly yelled to him, "If you had fought like a man, you wouldn't be hanged like a dog."
Oh, wow.
That's rich,
Whoa.
lady. You
Yeah.
were about to be hung yourself until you're like, "Oh, I'm pregnant."
Yeah.
Anne Bonny would never be punished for her pirate crimes. There's no history
Okay.
of her fate or her death. So
But
we assume that she's
She's
real.
real, right?
Right. ... I like to think she is. I mean,
Yeah.
She just started dressing as a woman after that, and then they said, okay.
who is she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
now
wasn't
we're going
me.
to talk about...
That was my
Yeah.
brother.
No, that's... Yeah, it's okay.
Amelia!
It's funny
Yes.
that, Lindsay, you actually say that. I feel like, I know that we're on the same topic. We probably saw some of the same stuff. But I feel like whenever we have a topic we're co-ing together, we're always on the same wavelength, always.
Yeah.
Because one of you will say a thing, and I'm like, I covered
We're just
that in 2
thinking that.
minutes.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
Okay, now we're going to talk about Mary Reed, the other pirate who sailed with Anne and Captain Jack. This is pictures 9, 10, and 11.
More
And this
boobies.
is... No, but like, I have to tell you the caption. And also, okay, I can't even get into it.
Oh my
Look at
God.
the face of picture
my
11,
God.
the one in black and white.
And you don't have
Also,
to
the
say
face
it.
of the guy on the ground. Oh my God.
Picture 11 kills. He's like,
Oh my
whoa,
God.
what?
Whoever drew
Okay,
this.
so
faces are not their forte.
and also neck lengths. Neck lengths are they
Lengths.
widely differ.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my.
Proportions.
If you are listening to this, because this is in fact a podcast, I'm sorry if you didn't know that. We do have a YouTube video, and also we post these on the website and on our Instagram. You have to see these photos.
These are amazing.
So picture 1 looks like a really cool like trading card. Like imagine a baseball card, but for pirates.
Mhm.
and her tits are kind of out,
a little bit,
which is like
little
cool.
nip slip.
The next photo, the caption
She's just showing
is
boob.
okay. The caption is Mary Reed reveals her femininity to victim. Be like, look, it
So
was
she's
a
like,
woman
you
who
got
killed you.
defeated by a woman,
Yeah.
and the only way she
And
can
he's
do
Look
like-
at
that
my
is by
rockin' tits.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
He does look
So-
shocked that
He does look shocked.
Yeah.
It could be the blood loss. Maybe it's Maybelline. Either way.
Because he also looks like he got shot in the head. Like,
And also, like, or is that a
but I guess those
sash?
bullets then probably didn't really go into the brain. Anyways,
It's like a
I mean,
yeah.
22. That's nothing.
yeah.
I know what I'm talking about.
No,
And then
no
the next
idea.
photo was just the guy is flabbergasted that he's been stabbed. Exactly through the body.
yeah.
Also, she looks nothing like she normally does.
No.
In
I
this one.
would
These-
not have
She
guessed.
looks
These
like
are-
a jester.
These are 3 different people. Like,
Oh.
these are
Yeah.
no, they're not.
No,
Like,
they're
look
not.
at them.
Oh,
Okay.
got you. Okay. Yes. No, they
Okay.
are though. Yeah. Got it.
Born in Plymouth, England, likely somewhere between 1685 and 1700, similar to her friend Anne Bonny,
Mm.
she lived life dressed as a boy from when she was very young. But it was so that her mother could pretend that she was her son who had died. So the father died,
Oh.
and
Oh.
her mother-in-law was like, I will keep paying for my grandson for as long as he's alive. Grandson dies. Mom's like, oh no, I'm quick
Nope.
with child.
Yeah.
So
Kidding.
she's like, so even
It's
though
just a little younger.
Yeah.
So,
somehow.
even though Mary had no relation to this woman, because mom was like, got pregnant really, really quickly,
Mhm.
she was like, no, this is your grandson. Keep giving me money. And that was literally how she could survive, was gain like a monthly allowance. So like not cool, but you do what you gotta do.
Right.
Mary later adopted the name of Mark Reed and took on a succession of traditionally male jobs, like a soldier and a merchant sailor. Everyone comes to the sea eventually. I think pirates, they get introduced
Yeah.
on a more like straight and narrow, and then all of a sudden they're like, I'm going to Jamaica to
Mhm.
ruin my life.
Yeah.
Mary did fall in love with a cavalry a man in the
Yeah,
army.
I love
and the
that all
couple-
our stories have love. Like these
Right?
pirates just want to be.
I mean, like she
cared
does,
for.
you know, and she didn't kill this guy or leave him. I think he just dies naturally, which is good. So she falls
Yes.
in love. They try and make a real go of having like a normal life. They have a pub in the Netherlands called the Three Horseshoes. Three Horseshoes. A horseshoe.
What happened
Three
to the fourth
horseshoes.
one?
What's the story there? Her husband ended up passing away, like I said, and then so she did a 180. She joined the crew of a ship that was probably in town and was like, let's go to the Caribbean or the Caribbean. Either way.
Mhm.
By 1710, she was a full-fledged buccaneer. While she was on this ship, it was attacked, and these pirates were like, you're so cool. They love the cut of her jib. You're going to join our ranks. Or she was kidnapped, or she agreed. Again, we have no idea.
Okay.
It was around this time that she met Captain Jack Calico and Anne Bonny. So she may have been sailing under the guise of a man, with the truth only known to Jack, Anne, and perhaps one other man that she may have had a relationship with. So unlike Anne, who was just kind of, who was openly a woman, but was a little more, I guess, masculine in her dress.
Right.
Mary may have actually been pretending to be a man this entire time.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
So this is so good. I love all the quotes these ladies are throwing out. During a fight in October of 1720, I love that they know the month. This is amazing.
Yes.
She was fighting alongside Anne and her other crew, and she was described as fighting like a couple of banshees, and quoted as saying, "If there is a man among ye, ye'll come up and fight me like the man ye are to be."
Okay.
So old English, but essentially
Yes.
it's like, if you claim to be a man, come fight me like a man.
Come fight me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Damn. Despite that amazing line, there was an instance where, as I mentioned, they were all caught and sentenced to hanging. So she was a pirate for like a
gosh.
hot minute.
Yeah.
And then, as you recall, she claimed to be pregnant. This could have been true. She could have been like, "Oh my God, I'll say anything just to not, die." But she ended up passing away in prison due to an untreated infection and a serious fever.
Oh.
There's no
Wow.
history of her death, of a baby. She could have died in
Wow.
childbirth. Just
Yeah.
no one kept records of any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that she passed away April 28th, 1721. So it's
But
kind
they
of a
do
shame.
have a
she didn't-
record of her death.
Well, it says like that's the
Yeah.
date, but there's no like records in terms of she died of this.
Of this, yeah.
I think a lot of this are just guessing, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Picture 12 is the two of them. And again, they look wildly
Hmm.
different than any other photo that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
they
them
look like
so far.
twins, kind of.
Right? Again, it's like a really cool like centerfold where no one's
Mhm.
naked.
Yeah, no boob.
Picture, unlike the other photos, picture 13 is kind of like a cool like poster newspaper notice where they spell trials with a Y.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they are mentioned. They're mentioned there. It says Mary Reed and Anne Bonny, alias Bond. And then it says, when they were set to be murdered. But again, not murdered.
Mm.
Hanged.
Mm-hmm.
Murdered. Anywho.
Mhm.
But I thought it was kind of cool that they have this. And I think this is in that book, Lindsay, that you were talking about
Oh,
earlier.
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 4. Now, this one's really cool. And again, I don't speak Gaelic, so I'm going to try. This is Granualia, or the Irish Pirate Queen. And her
Okay.
anglicized name is Grace O'Malley. But I thought that Granualia was a cooler name. And I
Yes.
have a really cool photo of a statue of her.
Yeah. This is
I'm
really
digging
cool.
the robes.
She looks pretty
Yeah,
badass.
It's what
Yeah.
I would imagine a Gaelic pirate to wear.
Yeah.
Female.
Female, and she didn't shy away from her femininity, but she also was like, I'm not going to let that stop me from
Yeah.
doing what I want to do.
Mhm.
So Grania was born in 1530.
Oh,
Before the golden age.
wow,
right?
way before.
To a very adventurous and seafaring father of an important and powerful Western Ireland clan. And she learned about his ocean adventures, and she was fascinated and determined to live a life of excitement on the sea. The story goes that she was told a lady as pretty as she with long red hair would likely get it tangled up in the ropes, and she would be far safer on land. So her response was to cut her hair as short as possible, and
Oh.
her nickname was Granuelle, which means the bald one.
Oh.
So she didn't shave it because you couldn't shave back then, but
Yeah.
she cropped her hair so it was literally just to her head. She was like, hey,
Mhm.
now I can go with you guys on adventures. At 1546, at age 16, she was married to Donald O'Flaherty, and they had 3 children at their castle, one of which was named Maeve.
Oh.
Maeve. And Maeve was
Great
the
name.
only kid that had
Mhm.
a decent story, which I don't even get into it, but like she was mostly okay, but her sons, oh
Mhm.
my God. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
There is a story which it's hard to put it in place because it sounds like her pirating started after, but there's a story that she gave birth and the very next day was like in battle.
my-
Oh my gosh.
Women
No
are tough, but it
thanks.
just seems like they're trying to make her sound like
Really
know,
tough.
like a tall
Yeah.
tale. Yeah.
Yeah.
When her husband died, she was forced to move out of the castle as she was only a woman and couldn't inherit her husband's property.
No.
So she's like, fuck it, I'm going to become a pirate. So
That's fair.
she took the helm in the 1560s and continued the family tradition of piracy by plundering English and Spanish shipping vessels and attacking rival chieftains.
Good for her.
Good
Love
for
it.
her. In 1574, she lost a battle, was captured, and spent 18 months in prison. But that didn't stop her because once she was out, she continued her pirate activities until her entire fleet was impounded by the British in 1590. And at this time, she was 63.
Oh
She
my
had no
gosh.
options left. I know. So she appealed to Queen Elizabeth I to allow her and her children and a ship to go free if they promised to go back to Ireland and just like be quiet and like be chill.
Wow.
And the
And?
queen was like, no problem. Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
just-
wow.
Be
I think
gone.
it was a couple of like 2 sexy redheads being like,
Yeah,
I see
like,
you.
I see
like,
you.
I wish,
We good.
I wish I
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
be with you on this boat. So old Baldy apparently couldn't give it up. And so she continued to lie, cheat, and steal upon the sea until her death in 1603. There's a legend that Granier had buried over 9 tons of gold treasure protected with a curse. It has never been found.
Dun,
But now, like,
dun,
is there
dun.
treasure? Because
Yeah.
Lindsay's like, that's
Or was
a
it
freaking myth.
spices?
Well, I
All
know
this
that they
paprika
said
is for me.
it's all moldy now, but
So that is my speed run of
That's
4 really
amazing.
cool
Woo!
pirate
Thank
ladies.
you.
that's good.
That was a fun
Thank you.
episode, you guys.
That
Yeah, it
I
was.
enjoyed it.
It's kind of crazy to think. I mean, I like that she's before the golden age of piracy, but it's just
Yeah.
such a short time that all this stuff's happened, and even like Blackbeard did all his like pirating stuff in like literally like less than 2 years, and then he was
I
killed.
know.
It's like,
Well,
that's
because
a
obviously we're reading the same stuff because we're doing the same
Yeah.
topic basically, and I kept seeing the golden age. I'm like, yeah, all this shit is like, and of these women, 2 of them found each other and they're in the same story. I'm like, this was a
Right.
hot and fast, flash in the pan kind of
yeah,
time period.
small
Still
world back
very
then.
interesting, and it really happened, Chantel. We think.
Yes.
The last one, did the last
Allegedly.
one actually happen?
Yeah.
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 Okay. I know
No,
the
I
other
mean-
ones were like alleged, but
Well,
like
no,
did this
all of this happened. It was mostly when
The
people
people were
were
real, but-
born. Yeah, like when were they born? Where did they come from?
Yeah.
Because
Got
like
you.
Anne and Mary both were real. It's just kind of like their backstories. They have no
Mhm.
information.
and like their exact
also,
date of death and stuff like that. And
even though they did say in one like it was April, I'm like, but then you also say there's no history. So,
Yeah.
got you.
and the book that Lindsay was talking about is like, yes, it's like the Bible for pirate information, and then it's like
Mhm.
made up a lot of shit. So like we don't even really know what's real. I'm like,
Right. And it's so old now that, can't really. It's like
kind
300
of like
years
another book that comes to mind that was written so long ago that maybe nothing's real in it. Anyway,
Nothing's real. Everything's made up.
time is a circle.
old.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was our pirate episode, and we're only at an hour
Yes.
and 9. When you guys
Yeah.
do your magic, it could be even less. So
Oh,
I
it'll
think we
be
did pretty
less.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Go
This is
Pirates.
fun. We'll definitely have to do another
Yay.
one because there's endless amounts of pirates, I'm sure.
Send
And there's
in-
modern day pirates.
Yes.
Yes. Like
I knew
Which we
that.
have on our list, actually, I think. So,
Yeah.
we could do more pirates.
more pirates, or even just you have a topic that maybe
Yeah, if you have any topics that you want to talk about as well, definitely write into us.
Yes.
But we can wrap it up here so we don't
Yeah.
ramble.
And visit coastfiles.com if you want to see the photos for today.
which you're
Yes.
going to want to see
Yes,
these.
you're
yes,
photos.
gonna wanna
you
see them.
definitely will want to
Like
see.
there's so much just opening the shirt to say, see, I
Yeah,
am a woman.
I have boobies.
Yes. And if you're only there
Yeah.
for the half pirate boob, we're not
That's
going
why
to
I'm
I
there.
judge.
understand.
You can still go check it out.
We listen and we don't judge.
judge.
Yeah.
We judge.
I mean, but we all say that we judge. And we do. Okay, so bye everyone. Avast ye mateys, guard that booty.
Mhm.
Love you. Bye. Stay away
Bye.
from syphilis. Bye.
Eat an orange.
Thank you for listening today. We loved having you. If you liked the episode, share with your friends, family, or anyone who would enjoy it. Also, take a moment to review our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Leaving us a like or comment really helps. If you'd like to buy us a coffee, please visit our coffee page at www.ko-fi.com/coastfiles. Email us at coastfilespod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at coastfilespod, or visit our website at www.coastfiles.com. You can find the sources for today's episode on our website. See you next week with a new episode.